MIAS na.
I'm so tired. There are too many cars. Heading over to the Subaru booth at MIAS, they've got all their cars here. We've got the BRZ, which we spent almost all our money on just putting in the gas, but we had so much fun on that. We also have a video of the WRX, which is also here, the same orange one, and I'm sure that the links will be found down below. But you'll want to come over to check out the two, say centerpieces that they put out here. The first one would be this. This is the Crosstrek, and this is the Crosstrek GT. On the other side is the Outback XT. Now, it's the same meat and bones that you're probably used to. It's just differently dressed, and the way that it's dressed is actually very good looking. If you haven't seen them yet, trust me, you'll want to head on over just to check them out. But before we leave, there's one thing that I want to show you, and I hope that you can come here to see it in the flesh as well. This is the Forester GT Wild. Okay, so it's the Forester that you all know, but if you come on over to the side, sorry Earl, I'm getting lost here, but if you come on over to the side, it's obviously beefed up in a manner that, well, the truth is, it kind of reminds me of the Dakar Porsche, where it kind of looks beefier, right? Doesn't it? I mean, with the black cladding and everything. You think the keys are in here? Can we take this out for a spin? Damn it. Keys aren't here. There's actually a lot more to show in Subaru, but as of the moment, I gotta go get dressed. You can't watch me get dressed, but you can follow the show. Come on, let's go to Chevy. Just exactly how quick that car is. Folks, now that we're here at the World Trade Center, let's continue with our small little walk around, shall we, with the cars that you see here. Let's start with the Trax. Stylish and efficient this car is. Basically a good balance between work and play. This, I can imagine, with the families of today, the smaller families that are starting out, could just possibly be. Speaking of starting out, let's move on over to the Tracker, because the Tracker, on the other hand, is something more affordable yet complete. The Trax, mind you, has a complete suite of safety features. The Tracker does too, but this comes more in an affordable package. This, I see professionals who are saving up their money and looking out for their first car. Now, when you get your first car, it's not necessarily a statement of, I've made it, mayaman ako, may kaya ako, not that. It's more of freedom. You know, because when you first get your car, your first car, you have an emotional bond to it, and all of a sudden, all the walls have just come down, and you have the freedom. All of a sudden, the country is your oyster. You have no bounds. You can go anywhere that you want, and that's what the first car represents. Well, anywhere that this thing doesn't stand in your way, can you look at this thing? The Suburban. Look at the size of this mama jamma. Right? I mean, if you can parallel park this car in Malate, it's like crossing EDSA on foot. If you can do it there, you can do it anywhere in the world. Folks, let's get to the centerpieces of them all. These are Corvettes, but that may be a Corvette. This is just a vet. Look at that car. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. You're talking about a small block V8 mated to a 4-speed manual transmission. And when you start the engine of this car, although we are at the World Trade, you can hear it all the way at SMX. That's how good looking, or rather how good sounding this car is. And it's so good looking that it attracts good looking people as well. Well, first, it's in movies. I'm sure that you've seen a lot of these cars in movies. The one that I can remember is True Lies. But this car is so good looking that it attracts good looking people to be inside, specifically George Clooney. And I'm not talking about that James Deacon guy. No, the real good-looking one, George Clooney, drives this car. This car is responsible for so many pregnancies, if you think about it. This car will be responsible for a heck of a lot more. This is the future. This is the C8 Corvette. V8 mid-engine, #1 in Sebring. And I gotta tell you, when I look at this car, it's very emotional because in my head, I want my body to look like this when I take off my shirt. Because this thing looks like it was chiseled to look better than Adonis himself. Hi, what a car.
In the term of GAC, it's pretty much the usual suspects, cars that you know and that we've actually reviewed, and you can find the list of them and all of them on our YouTube channel. But there is one new item, a product here, which is the MQ Hybrid. The MQ you do know, but the fact that it's a hybrid, well, it seems like the manufacturer from China is stepping things up. You're looking at a car that's essentially coding free. When exactly it's going to launch? They say around about June, but ahead of its launch, you can come on over to the auto show and see it in the metal. Sure. JMC revealed 3 pickup trucks. You've got the Grand Avenue Sport, which is a 4x4 right here. You've got the Grand Avenue 4x2, and these two are actually based on Ford platforms. Then, a one that's more affordable is this, the Vigos. Now this is actually quite interesting because when you say affordable pickup truck, I know that there's a lot of Filipinos out there going, that's interesting. Truth be told, this brand is actually pronounced Jack. All this time we've been calling it JAC, but it's actually called Jack, not to be confused with our cameraman. Now they launched 4 cars here, 2 crossovers, a pickup truck, and the car behind me, which is quite interesting, it's a Jack JS8 Pro. Now the interesting about it is, it's got the feel that it could go up against the likes of the GAC GS8. So if we have a comparo, it would be the GAC GS8 versus the Jack JS8 Pro. I wouldn't know how to get through that comparo. I'd be so confused. It'll be fun though. When you come to the Manila International Auto Show, Nissan is never short on exciting cars, which is why the Z and the GTR is here. But the one thing that everybody had their eyes on is what's behind me, the Aria, which we've teased several times. Jack has even drove it in Japan, but now it's finally made its Philippine debut. And I'm gonna say this, if Jack gets his hand on this car again before I do, I am going to throw a fit. Because I've been dying to drive this car ever since I first saw it in Japan. And if Earl gets to drive it before I do, wala na, talo na, upakan na. This is the first time I'm actually looking at the Elantra N since Hyundai announced that they were going to launch it. And I gotta tell you, it's very exciting. The color really gets me. The color is actually similar to the Ioniq 5N that we drove just recently in Spain. And it looks pretty good, man. It does look pretty good. It's still your sedan, but it looks like a badass sedan. The wheels are gorgeous, the color combination is gorgeous, and the rear, have you seen the rear of this car? It seems like it belongs, it belongs on a much larger car. And look at the size of these pipes. Look at that. I can fit my whole head in there. Okay, maybe not. This interior, I may not be familiar with, but this button I am. This says NGS. I actually know it as NGB or N-Grin button. This might be N-Grin Smiles? Switch! It could be switch. This button should add a couple of more horses from the engine in a short burst, sort of like the electric power on a Formula 1 car or like a DRS switch. I'm guessing. I have no idea just yet, but I'm sure everybody else out there will probably get to it as soon as this thing hits the internet here in the Philippines. Oh my God, it looks pretty badass, huh? And it's got pedals too. Yeah, boy! Hi, nice to meet you. GWM is one of the brands here at the auto show that just launched cars that I've never seen before, so it's really interesting to come to this booth. We'll start with the Tank 300. That was actually launched at the Bangkok International Motor Show where Earl was able to go. And I'm sure we have some pictures and footage of that. But I myself have never seen it. And if you haven't, then now's the time to come. Then you've got the Haval M6, which looks like it's close to somewhat of a Forester, actually. Then you've got this, the Aura 3. Tiny, cute, obviously full electric. This is the kind of car that kind of confuses me because it's got lights up front that is similar to that of a Mini. The car size is a Mini, but it's all electric. That's actually pretty cool. Then if you move on over here, now I'm going to bastardize some of these names. I'm going to try. I'm going to need Earl's help. This is the Haval, what is it again, Earl? Menglong? Menglong. So it resembles actually the Tank 300 over there. It's more Jeep-like. It looks like a monocoque SUV, which is actually pretty interesting. And then we have what looks to be yet another Alphard killer, much like the M8 from GAC. This is, Earl, help me out with the name again. Gaoshan? Gaoshan. This not only looks good inside, but it's also a hybrid. Interesting. So again, another car that isn't part of the coding scheme of Metro Manila. Now, I would love to go to each and every one of these cars, but I don't want you to come with me. I want us to have some peace and quiet to go around and look at it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now because they look so damn interesting. At the Mitsubishi booth, they haven't exactly launched anything new. What they did launch was earlier this year, the Triton, of course, which I was able to drive in Japan and we've got a video of. Now, this is a car that you can see in the flesh here at the show, and what other better way to see this car than with all the other enthusiasts that are looking at this automobile as well. This car, I dare I say, might possibly be the best pickup truck currently available in the country. So much so that I just might trade in my Montero for it. I'm not exactly going to say that to my wife, because I'm sure my wife won't, but for me, yeah, because it just drives really well. Of course, you're going to have the most amount of people because this is probably it's not a hybrid. It's not going to go from 0 to 100 in like 2 seconds. But everybody's going to flock to this to see these two cars.
This one, these two?
These two. There it is. Okay. Another exciting brand that we came across and we're going to get to know quite soon is this brand Hycan. Now, all of these cars that you see here, these 3 cars that you're looking at are all EVs. First of all, you've got this crossover. My goodness, how tall is this woman? Look at how tall. I can't even reach her. Look at this. It's ridiculous. Anyway, this particular crossover right here, the Z03, is pegged, and there's a price. It's pegged at roughly 1,680,000 Philippine pesos. For the sedan that we're looking at on the other side, the A06 Plus, you're looking at something that's 1,708 for that. Kind of reminiscent of Tesla, isn't it? Now this one right here, this large V09, is the only electric van currently available in the Philippines or going to be available in the Philippines. The price of this particular 709 comes in at 3,708,000 Philippine pesos. A good price considering that it is, well, I hate to say it again, it's somewhat of an Alphard but yet fully electric. Now we have seen other Chinese brands also when we were in World Trade, now that we're here in SMX. This is currently the only one that's fully electric. Sure, what's your name?
Aliroy po.
Aliroy, nice to meet you. And yet another brand we're ridiculously excited for, expecting a lot from, is Omoda and Caco. Not brand, but brands. Now, hear me out. See this Omoda right here? This Omoda is similar to the Omoda in the back, and this is geared to more a younger generation. A lifestyle that is more soft road and in the city kind of a thing, including the EV that they intend to bring in. Yes, all of these cars that you're looking at right now, they intend to bring in. Then we move on to Caco. You've got the Caco 8, which is much, much larger. SUVs over there and over there. Sort of like an off-road lifestyle kind of a thing, much like the Caco 7. Now, these cars, I've been told that you'd expect them to have 1.5-liter engines. Wrong, if you were expecting that. See, this particular car right here is going to be a 1.6-liter, and that particular car over there is going to be a 2-liter. Now, you understand that if it comes from China, it's always going to be subject to taxes. You'd think that. But these cars are not coming in from China. Although they are Chinese, they're coming in from elsewhere. And so the prices of these cars will drop. For instance, a bird told me that this JQ7 right here, which is a plug-in hybrid, mind you, may come in at under 1.8 million Philippine pesos. Shocker, isn't it? So this is one brand we tend to keep our eye on because we want to know what else they've got up their sleeve. MG has done lost their minds. The amount of cars that they've launched today here in SMX is redonkulous. I'm not kidding. Are you ready? The MG3, the MG7, the MG RX9, the MG G50, the MG MIFA 9, of course the MG Cyberster. Then you've got the MG4 X Power, the MG ZS EV. Good God! And last but certainly not the least, this, the IMLS7. Dude, if you look at the screen inside, you can watch a movie there better than if you would at IMAX. See the size of this thing? Dude, I am beat. I am so beat. If I'm beat, I'm sure Earl, who's been subbing in from Jack, is also very tired. I hope you enjoyed this video that we've created, showcasing almost all the cars that we saw in World Trade and SMX for the 2024 Manila International Auto Show. There are a lot more cars that we didn't feature, which I suggest you guys head on over. The tickets are pretty inexpensive. It's like 100, 150 pesos only. And it's fun for the entire family because all of these cars are awesome. You've got internal combustion cars, you've got hybrids, you've got plug-in hybrids, you've got EVs, you've got sexy looking cars, and it's just really, it's a day. It's a day that you can spend with your entire family, and I'm just glad that we were part of it to be able to bring you some semblance of this grand scale that they put in for 2024. I'm kind of hoping that it won't be as big in 2025 because it's tiring, but then it probably won't be as fulfilling. So I'm hoping 2025 will be as big too. Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this video because it was a long day. We hope that you enjoyed the shorts. Please subscribe to our channel because tired as we are, we create all of these videos just for you guys. Take care. I'm so beat. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.